How's it going? I think if you have been following my channel, you'll know that I was making jerky not too long ago. But I finished up that series, and I think at the end of the last episode I mentioned I had some other things in mind to start working on with dehydrating. So to accomplish that, I have retired my tired old jerky dehydrator, and I've purchased this new VivoHome 8-tray dehydrator. It's a beautiful thing. I love the color too. I like red a lot. This dehydrator is a 400-watt dehydrator, as I said, with 8 trays, and you can flip the trays around in order to gain some height, just as you could with the previous one. But this one has, it's a little fancier. It has the ability to digitally set the time and the temperature of this. So before I had a dial with no real ability, I just kept it cranked full blast all the time. This one I can actually set the temperature and set a timer and have a little bit more control over the process. So we're not going to be making any more jerky, but what I am going to test out today is making granola bars. I don't know if you're, again, terribly familiar with my channel, but one of the things I set out to do when I started this was to work on my personal health and weight. And I'm happy to say I've lost almost 60 pounds now and doing quite well. But one of the things I'm missing is a little bit of sweets. Every now and then I have a little breakdown and have to have a little ice cream or something. But what I thought was maybe I could incorporate some healthy sweet items into my diet more occasionally, and therefore I would not crave these things. And so I thought, well, maybe we could try making granola bars in our dehydrator, and that's what we're going to do today. I want to say I found a recipe, but it's not really a recipe. It's more like just a method for making granola bars in your dehydrator. And it sort of gives you items to choose from to include in your granola bars. Well, we went through and picked out some things we thought were going to be tasty, and that's what we're going to have in ours today. The first ingredient was rolled oats and dried fruit. So we were looking at that. Now, my favorite fruit is blueberries. And so I was able to find this nice rolled oat blueberry dried. You have to use dried fruit now. Make sure we're clear on that. I found this nice granola rolled oat dried fruit with flaxseed sort of material, which I think is a great foundation for making this. So we're going to start with that. So we're going to start with 3 cups of the rolled oat blueberry flax mixture. Then we're going to add in a 1/4 cup of almond slivers. And we're going to follow that up with a 1/2 cup of sunflower seeds. Now I chose to use salted sunflower seeds because you do need some salt in your diet. But I thought it might be a nice offset for the sweet that's going to come along with this. So I used a 1/2 cup of salted sunflower seeds. And then dark chocolate is also very good for you. So I added in a 1/2 cup of unsweetened dark chocolate. Now, don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking sugar-free. It is sugar-free. But I forgot that when things are sugar-free, that they substitute it with probably a bad chemical. So I think these will be okay for this time, but in the future we're not going to use sugar-free stuff. All right, so that makes up the bulk of the bars themselves. Rolled oats, dried fruit, flax seeds, sunflower seeds, slivered almonds, and chocolate chips, dark chocolate chips. Now, to bind that together, this is where the sweet part comes in. You need something to bind all this together. So we're going to take a mixture of a 1/2 cup of peanut butter and a 1/2 cup of honey, and we're going to stir that together to mix it up really well. Then we're going to pour that into the dry mixture, and we're going to mix that up really well. Now I had to move that to a bigger bowl because it just needed more space to move around. So we're going to mix all that up really well, get it all nice and saturated with the gooey goodness. And then I bought these forms for making the granola bars themselves. We're going to take a spoon and we're going to pack them into these forms. And then we're going to turn these forms over onto our trays. Now, I did learn something that you can't have the bars over the middle holes because they'll fall through. So we'll do like we did in the second tray, where we're just going to have the bars on the outer edges, and we'll turn them over and we will release them onto the trays. And then it's as simple as turning on the dehydrator, setting it for it says 3 to 4 hours. So we're going to set it for 3 hours and see what we get out of this. 3 hours at 115 degrees. The closest I could get was 113. So 3 hours, 113 degrees. Then we'll come back and take a look and see how this looks at that point. We may flip them, do another hour. Who knows? I've never done this before. I don't know. But let's crank this up and see back in 3 hours what we think. All right, we'll see you then. All right, it's been about 3.5 hours on these. They definitely feel very, very sticky, but they're still fairly malleable. And I think the next step, these things will sort of firm up a little bit. We're supposed to now turn this off, let them cool down, and then we'll put them in the fridge for about 30 or 45 minutes to finally finish solidifying. So we're in the cool down phase. I'll let you take a look real quick. Look at those. So we're just going to let these sit probably for an hour, and then I'm going to see if I can take them off and put them on a plate. If not, I'll put them in their trays in the fridge, and then we'll finish this up. All right, we'll see you back here in a minute. All right, so we let them cool down, and they really solidified up. I was really kind of surprised because they were so gooey while they were in the dehydrator itself. So as soon as I turned it off, I let it sit for about an hour, and it really solidified up. I put them on that plate, and I stuck them in the fridge for about 45 minutes, and they're amazing looking. I haven't tried it yet, neither has Victoria, but she's about to. She doesn't want to be on camera, so she's just going to give you some audio.
I've had a rough day.
Do you hear that crunch? Are they good?
Really good. Not super sticking together, but like they're very good. Don't you think? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The dark chocolate's really good.
As good as any I've ever had in the store. Mm-hmm. They're a little crumbly, but you know, for a first try, I don't think they're bad at all.
Oh my God, an excellent first try.
So nice, healthy. We know what's in it. No preservatives, no chemicals, except for the stuff that's in the chocolate, which is not sugar. We'll fix that for next time. But in the meantime,
really good.
Yeah, it's a winner. All right, we'll just add this to our growing list of dehydrator recipes. On that note, we'll see you next time. Bye.